Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I'm not gay. So why did these things happen to these two Indian females? Well, there's a deeper answer, and there's a sort of, you might say, secular answer. So if you're a very shallow person, the reason why it happened is because the elite are playing sick games and they want to create a certain world that is a sort of technological world of white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacy, where they have token minorities and so on and so forth. And there's certain people from certain crafts, if you will. They have a certain uniformity. Think uniforms and uniformity, right? Firemen, construction workers, police officers, military. That's one level of it. Above that on the economic pyramid, you have lawyers, software engineers, various people like this, okay? Various tech industry types, IT types, right? Computer scientists, what have you, the scientists. So in Freemasonry, you have philosophy and science first and foremost, and they don't take religion very seriously. Now, if you look at it on a more deeper level, I'd urge you to read Isaiah 34, to take notes, to print it out, underline, what have you, take notes, connect it to Revelation 19 and Revelation 20. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read some of these verses for you, and we'll get into more in the next chapter. I'm about to run out of space on the next video, I'm about to run out of space on my phone. So Isaiah 34, judgment against the nations. Let's just start at verse 1, and we'll go to verse 12 or so. Come near, you nations, and listen. Pay attention, you peoples. Let the earth hear and all that is in it. The world and all that comes out of it. The Lord is angry with all nations, all nations. His wrath is on all their armies. He will totally destroy them. He will give them over to slaughter. Right? So you have these military academies, the military industrial complex, but it's every culture. Every culture is like governed by the Freemasons and the military, okay, on behalf of the governing class. So the governing class governs every culture through the government, the Freemasons, the military, the intelligence agencies, what have you. Their slain will be thrown out. Their dead bodies will stink. The mountains will be soaked with their blood, and that includes the churches, right? It's saying it figuratively speaking. All the stars in the sky will be dissolved, and the heavens rolled up like a scroll. All the starry hosts will fall like withered leaves from the vine, like shriveled figs from the fig tree. Now, what it's saying is their magic arts failed them, right? They're rolled up like a scroll. They roll their scroll up and tell them to shut up. Okay, their scriptures, their interpretation of scriptures were wrong. So they're being told to shut up in the form of their lamps being snuffed out. All possibility of them having a worthwhile life being snuffed out. And then when their flesh dies, they go to hell. And it goes double for groups like these particular English people who are trying to make their race seem superior with their false image of Christ, with all the things that they're doing. They're kind of James Bond stupidity, trying to make it seem like academics are magically this, that, and the other thing, right? It's ridiculous. So they're changing the sound of my voice, trying to make it so I sound weird, when they're the weirdos. What do you think is weirder? A sadistic English person or a sadistic Jewish person, or the top martial artist ever possible whose voice they're changing? Are you going to go to their churches because they're making it so I sound weird? Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Okay. The sword of the Lord is bathed in blood. It is covered with fat, the blood of lambs and goats, fat from the kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. So the souls of these people are being slaughtered. Everyone outside the divine or in their offspring. No one should have kids no matter what. That's why those two Indian females were killed, because you're in a Judeo-Christian culture with Judeo-Christian cults and also Greco-Roman cults, and where the two overlap, what have you. And they are sissies. They are betas. They're like gays throwing a fit. They're like Freemasons, acting like control freaks, like psychotic boarding school teachers thinking they're important because you're in their classroom. They're complete idiots. They are complete idiots. They're dumb enough to think it's a good idea to change the sound of the most righteous person that ever lives' voice. Think about how stupid that is. Think how that reflects on their families and their laughable genes. Laughable. Pathetic. And the wild oxen will fall with them, the bulls, the bull calves, and the great bulls. Their land will be drenched with blood, and the dust will be soaked with fat. For the Lord is a day of vengeance, a year of retribution, to uphold Zion's cause. That is my cause. On Alpha's. Alpha's son's cause. AZ becomes Alpha's. The Z can be replaced with the S, right? Like Zeus is scrambled into the word Jesus, where the S can be a Z. Okay, and it's G, the earth deity, the Roman earth deity, right? And obviously they're trying to superimpose themselves on the righteous. They're Satanists. Satan likes to counterfeit the things of God. They like to play God. There's some kind of immature gay people, immature straight people trying to scapegoat gay people, immature Jews and immature white people trying to scapegoat each other. Edom's streams will be turned into pitch, her dust into burning sulfur. Her land will become blazing pitch. Now, for those of you who think this is harsh, you know, they starve 9 million people to death every year, and you people all are just concerned with your lives, and you're cheating me out of my right to lead. When you think you know better than the top martial arts ever possible, it was monotheistic, immediately you're going to cook. There's no question about that. Now, it might be that you know stuff about, you know, maybe a car or, you know, maybe where to buy something for a cheaper price. That's not what I'm talking about. When it comes to God's direction, if you think you know better than I do, you are going to cook to the extreme that much more. Edom's streams will be turned into pitch, right? The springs and the streams, right? The springs and the offspring, right? Their offspring's souls, their offspring's essence, them and their offspring's essence will be turned into pitch. Their flesh, their offspring's, part of what makes up their offspring, into burning sulfur. The word sulfur is a play on words for suffer. Her land will become blazing pitch. It will not be quenched night or day. Its smoke will rise forever. From generation to generation, it will be desolate. No one will ever pass through it again. So they'll be like the Walking Dead. Their lives will be a sick joke. Child molesters and their allies are basically in the same child molester fairy spirit, Luciferian fairy spirit, will be govern them with technology, and then they'll die and go to hell. And those who had a bigger share of the plunder, okay, will cook more like the sniveling worm. Me and great warriors will be before them. There's some kind of beta sissies, some racist gays or some pipsqueaks, some beanpoles, some fat fucking idiots. Okay, they'll have great warriors in front of them in the spiritual realm. Say, what were you thinking? Now we're in your face before God. What were you thinking, you coward? And they'll see their whole family suffering the same fate. Pathetic. What a pathetic ending. And you see it coming. What a pathetic ending. You cowards. The desert owl and the screech owl will possess it. The great owl and the raven will nest there. God will stretch out over Edom the measuring line of chaos and the plume line of desolation. For those who have been paying attention, Kali and Shiva are deities of chaos. Okay, and anything that's not Horus or God, anything that's not the Son of God, the top martial artist Son of God, Royal African Falcon martial art, or not a pagan deity or a pagan conception of what the Son of God is, with a morally precise explanation, a morally precise concept, a morally precise idea, is satanic. So by default, all other ideas but the true form of Horus and the true form of Jesus, which is me, and God, obviously God first, God is God, any other idea is satanic and bringing disorder and chaos. So as you're worshiping these sniveling deities like Marilyn Manson worships, you worship the same deities as Marilyn Manson, as the Pope. What don't you get? As these churches who are molesting kids, what don't you people get? As these synagogues playing controlled opposition games instead of being men and obeying God through me. Utterly proving themselves to be hypocrites. As these mosques who are more concerned with upholding Semitic social orders and doing God's work. I mean, how pathetic is that? They don't care if the governing class rapes kids. They don't care if they exploit. They don't care if they blaspheme all day. They're more concerned with upholding those despicable orders instead of obeying God through me. To the extreme shame. Some people even blow themselves up for that. Pathetic. Just idiots. Just stupid. Her nobles will have nothing there to be called a kingdom. All her princes will waste away. Now, if we look at the world, do we see people manning up into next week? It's just me, and my parents are blameless. They're wasting away. And the more they have power to do something, have money that they could give me or they could rally to me, anything like that, the more they don't do that, the more they waste away. And do I care about money? No. Should they give me lots of money? Yes. Would I live like some kind of rich, arrogant person? No. Would I scramble to get the message out and live a humble life and prove that I'm living a humble life? Yes. So I'm not some rich worm, not some hustler, not some idiot, not some con man. I'm somebody who's a brain surgeon's son who's been cheated out of his inheritance. And I can easily prove that. And I'm the top martial artist ever possible and the son of God. This planet owes me everything. I don't want to hear any sniveling worms say otherwise. Are you a brain surgeon's son? Are you the son of 2 doctors who cheat out of your inheritance, who lives with your parents? Are you the top martial artist with the top martial arts challenge? And you can't criticize my argument there, can you?